Good morning, guys, or should I say good afternoon, actually. We are in my car today to film because I don't think you guys will hear it just yet until the May end of the vlog that's gonna come out, but if I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't feel too comfortable yet filming in my room. I know that sounds really stupid, but it's just the walls are so thin that I really don't want my roommates to hear what, I'm filming or what I have to say, since, I have a lot to say. You know I always do. So this is why I'm in my car. I'm actually parked near a park, so if you see people coming in and out kind of a way, that's what is going on. And if you hear a car engine, it's because my car is actually on to keep the air cool in here, since it's pretty much a good 60 degrees today in Colorado. So you guys are gonna be in for a treat today, because this is gonna be a pretty long video. I already can tell, because after writing the script for this video, I'm like, holy shit, like this is just gonna be a lot to talk about, but I feel like it's very important. So the important topic that I want to share with you guys is 10 things I wish I knew before college. If you didn't know, I graduated University of Northern Colorado about 2 years ago now. Yes, I graduated in the spring of 2018, and I cannot believe like how fast time has gone after that. Like, I felt like it was still yesterday that I was still a college girl, and even till now there are moments where I hit like the thought of like, wow, like this reminds me of being in college and things like that, and I still feel like I'm a college girl at times as well. But anyways, I wanted to share with you guys about the things I learned, so without further, let's get right into it. Number 1, it is completely okay to be undeclared for your major as a freshman. As an 18-year-old, I had no idea what I wanted as a career-wise. I got a lot of pressure from family to figure it out, and they even suggested me to become a doctor and lawyer, which I definitely knew was just not my forte, because one, I am not good at biology, and I've never taken a chemistry class before in my life, and at the same time, I just knew that being a lawyer was just way too much. And the only reason why they wanted me to go pursue becoming a doctor and a lawyer was because it makes a lot of money. Not only did I felt the pressure from my family, but I also felt very judged by my own peers as well, because every time I told them that I didn't know what I wanted to do, or that I'm undeclared, they just look at me like, who are you? Like, what the heck? Like, how could you not know like what you want to do, or what you like and things like that? So it was definitely not fun. My advice for you, to those that don't know what they want to do and decide to be undeclared as your major, I would just take your time and take as many general education classes that come across you that you want to try out, or that you're interested, and they actually allow freshmen to take, because some classes won't allow you to, just because they're like, oh, you have to be an upperclassman in order to take those classes. But by doing this, you get a feel if you're into it or not, and take note on if you're enjoying this class or not enjoying it, because it's definitely going to help you kind of take little baby steps towards what you like and what you don't like. For me, like, my favorite class was actually psychology. I didn't declare a psychology major until I was honestly a junior, and this was the time when I was transferring out of Western State from Gunnison to UNC up in Greeley, and once I transferred, that was when I declared my major. Number 2 would be keeping up with my health and diet. Because I was living at home during my first 2 years of college, I didn't gain the freshman 15. But I know it's not always that scenario for everyone, even if you do live on campus or not. But I wasn't exercising really, nor was I eating the best. keep in mind that I had PE classes from elementary school all the way up to high school, and I wasn't sporty or athletic, but I was very active and had, exercise incorporated into my lifestyle for a very long time. So when college happened, like, I didn't care too much about working out or eating right since I was focused on school, making new friends, and I wasn't the type to gain weight from eating a lot as well. So yeah, I know you can, hate me for that, but that's where it made me not care about, eating the best and making healthy choices. It all changed right when I turned 20. This was during the middle of my sophomore year, I would say. That was when drinking came into the picture, and during the end of my sophomore year, I definitely put on some weight. I'm not gonna lie about that. It wasn't until like the summer of 2016, my senior year of college, I got back into working out, and I was eating a lot better as well because, they both come in hand. I'm not gonna lie about that. When you do start working out, you do start feeling all the foods that you eat and how they make you feel and things like that. So, I was eating a lot better as well, and I wasn't drinking as much too. My body had transformed by the end of the summer, and I didn't realize it until people mentioned it. I feel super amazing, and of course I didn't do a good job keeping up with the regular workout routine, but after college I've been doing a lot better. I would say my motivation now is to, help with my anxiety and depression, as well as just when I'm feeling overwhelmed or just negative emotions, because working out definitely helps me just loosen up that tension and just really exhale all of that negative energy out when I am working out. So working out is not meaning to lose weight for me or to look fit. It's more to just feel good and more for my mental stability as well, to just keep me grounded. So number 3 is for all of you freshmen who don't know this, you can actually mark and write down things in your textbook. Yes, you can actually mark it with a pen, with a highlighter. Don't do Sharpie, please, unless it's a Sharpie pen. But literally, or put sticky notes on it. You can literally do all that jazz and like leave it in there, because honestly, you paid for this book. Even if you're renting it or you bought it, you literally spent money on this. So yes, you can actually mark in those textbooks, unless your professor tell you to not do it. I mean, I still do it, but just with, the little notebook, notepads, I guess, little notepads, to mark down where I need to go back to the pages and whatnot, and I'll do pencil instead, and I'll just erase it afterwards, just in case if they don't want me to mark it. Honestly, it's going to help you a lot when you're making a study guide, or just even getting references, or whatever it is that you need that piece of information. It is going to be super helpful that you actually marked it down, that you know where it is and you can find it really easily. So whoever gets your textbook next, they are going to thank you like no tomorrow, honestly. Because for me, like, I still remember the times when I actually got a textbook that was like marked all over, and during the times where like I was doing an open note quiz, or I needed a reference to something, it was already highlighted, it was already marked for me, or even doing homework too, and you get the answers to it. I was just like, yes, like I didn't need to like skim through all this to like go find the answer, like it's actually right there. So for the next person who gets your textbook, they will thank you for that. Number 4 is just figuring out an efficient way to study and doing your homework. During the first 2 years of college, I used to cram everything in one study session, so I was making flashcards, and I only gave myself like 2 days to, run through those flashcards and study. And, that was actually a lot of information to remember within 2 days. Like, after the study sessions, I would literally be wiped out because, you know, I only gave myself 2 days. So I would be studying nonstop, really. Like, I would take breaks in between, but the whole day I would just be studying and repeating the process. And then by the time that it hits test time, you know, like, honestly, there was some stuff that was just very jumbled in my head that, excuse me, I didn't remember. And, you know, there were moments where it took me a while to really process, like, wait, it has to be this. No, it's this one. So it was not a very effective way for me to study. But I mean, it helped me get through the first 2 years of college. I'm not gonna lie. But it was definitely not a very effective way to study. I only did this method because that was how I learned in high school. And you know, for me, I guess I should say from my experience, in high school, I didn't have to memorize more information than I had to memorize for a college exam. So I definitely downplayed it, and because, you know, I was using this technique for so long that I didn't actually think about other ways to study, and I guess I should say more effective ways to study. It honestly wasn't until my 4th year of college where I took a lot more credits that semester, where I actually dealt with anxiety attacks for the first time, just because I was extremely overwhelmed and stressed out, and I was taking classes that were harder. Long story short, I actually wound up going into counseling sessions for my anxiety attacks because it was all new to me and I didn't know how to deal with it or manage with it at all, and it was just really something new to me at the time, honestly. And during the counseling session, like, I remember the time where, you know, my counselor asked me, like, what was, you know, causing my anxiety and things like that. And I remember mentioning to him that I just feel very overwhelmed with all the school load that I have on my boat, and that I wasn't in the best connections with my family as well too, mainly my parents. So it felt like I had a lot of pressure to being able to succeed in college and not fail, because I was expected to go to college, and, you know, I'm there spending a lot of money to get this freaking degree. So it made me realize that I needed to make a schedule sorry, to not overload my homework time. I needed to just, you know, really put the time in to schedule out all the things that I need to get done. I was always the type of person that would just work on something and just sit there for hours on end to finish what I needed to finish. And I didn't know that I would become the type of person that would need to take breaks in between and to stop what I'm doing and then completely disengage with it until the next day to continue my progress on that homework or paper, or even studying. As for tests, I would try to make the study guide in a week in advance before the exam and study throughout the week, so that, you know, every day would just be an hour or 2 hour study session, which was so much better for me on my part, because not only like did I memorize most of the information for the exam when the exam day came a week later, but I was also able to really understand all that information and be able to quickly, you know, process it when I am taking the tests and whatnot in the classroom. And for me, I would highly recommend, if you are trying to study, the best times to do it is either in the beginning of the morning or the end of the night before you go to bed, especially the end of the night. Like, that's where you will memorize information like no tomorrow, surprisingly, which is crazy. but that's where I would study. I would study around the beginning of the day, and then right before I go to bed, I would take that hour to just, I would actually be in my room alone, or I would actually go to a study room where I can be alone, because when I study, I like to talk out loud, like I'm actually teaching someone the information, and that I don't know, I guess like if I were to be able to explain it while talking, then that means I am able to teach that. That's how I see it as, I guess. But everyone has different study methods, and that was what helped me a lot in the long run. So if you are like me, I would highly, highly recommend that type of study technique. And if you want to actually, teach the information to someone, like your roommate or a friend, even your professor, go for it. I think that would be, a lot of fun, and they can give you feedback too if they're in the class. Number 5 is don't be afraid of your professors. Honestly, they are not that intimidating. They're pretty much just humans as you are and they are there to help you, so take advantage of their study hours, like after class hours, whatever it is. And they really are not that scary, and you start to grow a bond with them once you actually start seeing them a lot, which is a good thing, because then you both start to understand how I guess understand each other in a sense, where they can teach you, where you understand the material, and they also see the effort that you are putting in to the class, pretty much, whether it be homework or even trying to get to know them and things like that, which will really benefit you, I'm not gonna lie. And you could even network with them afterwards if you really bond and get along with them, so you never know. They could give you an opportunity or an internship later on as well, which is very important. So yeah, like don't be afraid of them, and they can change your life more than you think. They can enhance your skills and just so much more. So don't be afraid, because they are only human just like you are too. Number 6 is to take advantage of your resources within the campus or university, wherever you are attending. Especially if it is free, please take advantage of it, because you will not get the same resources once you are no longer a college student. I'm talking about like financial aid, the recreational center, the campus events, campus clubs, the health center, work study, the library, so much more. Like, your options are endless, seriously. There's a lot of schools that offer, and you should take advantage of it, because later on in life those opportunities can be so hard to find, and you won't have the time for it, or you just can't pay the price for how much those services or clubs cost for you to do certain activities. Financial aid is a good one, because like there's so many grants and scholarships and other financial opportunities that could help you pay for tuition, or as well as even pay you like work study wise. Another free thing that I cannot stress out even more to take advantage of is the counseling center. Most schools offer this, and I highly, highly recommend that you take advantage of it. The students who are training to become a counselor are usually pretty amazing at what they do, because they go through a selection process of being selected into the training to becoming a counselor. So even though you might not get a professional as a counselor, you still get a pretty amazing person that's in training, and you're helping them at the same time too, where it's also helping you too, where you get to talk to someone about all the issues and challenges that you are facing as well. Like, I think this is a great opportunity, especially if you are seeking counseling and therapy and you are a student, because once you are no longer a student, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty expensive. So please take advantage of it if you are curious, interested, or if you just really need someone to talk to as well. Number 7 is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. If you don't give yourself the opportunity to meet people and create new friends, not only will you be missing out on a lot, but people aren't just going to magically become your friend. I had to learn that the hard way. And when I realized that, I slowly started opening myself up more and not be afraid to make, small talk with my peers, or to even go into situations that allow me to socialize. And I got better when I got into a work-study job, being an athletics assistant, and joining a club during my sophomore year. It allowed me to meet so many people, and I made so many friends. Just go towards making friends and, joining, I guess, meeting new people as well, but also, this goes for dating as well too. It can be discouraging when, you thought you were becoming friends with someone and they don't feel the same way, when they don't care to hang out with you outside of classes. But don't take it too personally, and know that there's so many more people out there who will actually want to be your friend. So don't stop trying. Just don't. Be open to new experiences, and be kind to others, and also be kind to yourself, because you are putting a lot of effort to put yourself out there as well. We got to the fun part. This is actually my favorite one that I wrote down, but this is number 8. You meet a lot of fuckboys before something real comes along, and this goes for the dating realm. Oh man, if you were like me who didn't date much in high school and you are open to the idea of dating in relationships, it's gonna be a fun ride in college. I've had my fair share of experiencing fuckboys, ghosting, crushing hard on guys who were not into me but used me for favors, for them, like completing their projects, giving them rides, finishing their homework, paying for their freaking tab, and you get the gist. Honestly, at the time, I was, all gushy and happy, thinking that I was special whenever a guy was giving me attention, especially if they wanted to hang out with only me. They would say and do all the right things in the beginning until I asked, what are we, and get real with them about how I felt. Either they would disappear and not talk to me again, or they tell me they like me but they aren't looking for anything serious, or they tell me they don't feel the same way but we can still be friends, or stay as friends, I guess you could say. Whichever the above, it was very disappointing. I didn't really stay friends with any of them, but through this experience, it taught me a lot about dating, and I was able to experience a real, loving, committed relationship. But that wasn't until like my junior year of college. So I wouldn't take any of it back, since it made me happy once, and it really showed me the ropes. It showed me what I like and what I'm looking for. Although I'm no longer in a relationship right now, my advice is to have fun with it, and if it doesn't work out, on to the next. There are so many people out there. You are bound to find someone amazing and who actually wants to be with you and takes you seriously and will treat you like a queen or king, whichever. Also, don't let anyone disrespect you and take advantage of you. If they don't like you or want to be with you, it's their freaking loss. Don't be afraid to show them your confidence. Don't be afraid to say how you feel and what you want and don't waste your time, and you'll attract, you know, the quality and good energy that you want in your life, as a relationship. As long as you stay in that high vibrations and know your own worth, you will get there. One last thing, also know that you are young and have all the time in the world. So, you know, have fun with it. And of course, you don't just fall in love once. You are gonna fall in love multiple times. I promise you that. And I will say, I don't know about you, but I am definitely a believer in multiple soulmates. I don't believe in just one soulmate because, you know, as humans, we are constantly changing, we're constantly evolving, we're always growing. So what you may want when you were 15 years old is not what you want now, however old you are. Your ideas change, you change. So it is completely okay to, you know, fall in love as many times as, you know, as you want. Number 9, it is completely okay to go party and be wild. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a very hard time with this one because I was the type who used to care a lot about what people thought of me, a lot, and how I carry myself, and I wanted to seem responsible since my mom isn't the nicest person and judged me a lot. Also, if you're like me, I didn't drink enough or was experienced with alcohol. I don't think anyone is. At least I didn't in high school, so the thought of it was actually pretty scary to me because, you know, I didn't know what I was gonna be like when I was drunk, or, you know, where my limits are, or, you know, this or that, pretty much just being worried about all the negative side effects of being drunk. In a nutshell, I was definitely afraid of drinking and didn't see the muse in partying really, but when I found the right group of friends who partied and who were very trusting people that if anything were to happen to me, they would take care of me, and we actually hung out outside of partying as well, so it allowed me to be more open to drinking and partying. I honestly had so much fun, sometimes way too much fun, and those nights were some of the best nights of my college career. I met so many people, did so many stupid, funny, and yet fun things. It created some of the best memories and adventures of my life, especially for being a young 20-year-old, I guess, 20s. Plus, it was so much fun, and for me to get all dressed up just to like go out and party, those were some girl time bonding moments that I really appreciate. So college is the best time to do all the crazy things, you know, and be okay with, you know, going wild. Okay, maybe not too wild. Don't do too many stupid things. Be smart about it. But have fun also at the same time. You get the points. And if, you know, you're not going to do them while you're young, when are you really going to do those things? So remember that you're young. You're only young once. So make the best of it, have fun, and make smart decisions. This one is more of a slap in the face for myself. But number 10 would be just wanting to be more responsible with my money. So I thought I knew the basis of everything. You know, you get a credit card and pay it on time, get a job, and make sure you're not overspending on the things, and put a limit on the things. But you know, that later on blew up in my face since I was spending more than I could pay back, and later on my card payments added interest on top, and it just got loaded with a whole lot of money that I owed on my credit card, and I was in major credit card debt. Still am, but not as much as I used to be, but I'm not gonna lie that I was honestly reckless, and I didn't think about the consequences. I also didn't take my card payments as seriously either, so it punched me in the face really, really freaking hard. I didn't talk to anyone about it because I was so embarrassed and honestly afraid to get judged and be called, you know, stupid and naive and, you know, just being ashamed of it. It wasn't until after college I came to terms, real terms, with everything and took it more seriously. I talked to my brother about it since he's always been more responsible with money than I have ever been, and he's pretty educated on the matter as we actually came up with a plan, and he helped me, you know, understand a lot of the things that I didn't fully understand about credit cards, credit scores, and even investing. So if you don't know, now I do money journaling where I keep track of everything, all the money that comes in and out. It's sounds crazy because, you know, I can actually do it off of the app if I really wanted to, but it just helps me get a better, really better general idea of what is coming in and out, of like where am I spending my money and things like that. It just really just helps me keep track of everything, and you know, it works. I have written down my financial goals on what I want to achieve and when I want to accomplish all of that, as well as making a timeline to keep myself accountable and on track. I also read books and watch videos on YouTube and, you know, do a lot more to learn as much as I can about money and investing. So I have become a lot more responsible with how I spend. So my advice to you is, you know, if I could go back in time and when I was 18, I wish I would have started this sooner and taken things a lot more seriously. Like, it would have saved me a lot more money. It would have saved my credit score, and all the time I spent worrying, stressing, and crying about my financial situation. So take my advice in consideration with that. To end all this up, I just want to let you know that college goes by a lot faster than you really think. So enjoy your time being a student, being a young adult. This could be your last stage of education, so take it seriously. Don't just party away your life, because there's so much more to college than just that. You won't ever get an experience like this again at this given time and age, so make the best of it. Learn how to take care of yourself, whatever it be, with cooking, cleaning, learning about money, going to the gym, being healthy. Just be open to new experiences. Be passionate about your education, because at the end of the day, that's what you are there for. Don't be afraid of adulting, because you are going to have to learn those skills eventually and go through adulting challenges, whether you like it or not. So be brave, go ask for help if you need it, and get shit done as well. Get to know what your boundaries are, what are your limits, what are you capable of, and push yourself to the limits and be your own best friend. That is all the advice that I have to give you guys, or the 10 things that I wish I knew before college. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are class of 2020, I just want to say freaking congratulations on graduating and making through this craziness of, you know, college and school. I know it's definitely a challenge and it's really freaking hard, but guess what? You freaking did it, so freaking congratulations. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and you know, I'm sorry about the people walking around. Even I myself got distracted and I was just looking around like, there's a person over there and while talking to you guys, but you know, it is what it is. I had a lot of fun actually filming in my car, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and stay tuned for more, and until next time, take care. Bye.